Ready?
Thank God I'm back. So happy.
I don't even know how to start this.
It's already started, to be honest.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Billy back in studio.
Hey, Billy.
Hey,
Billy, damn it. Where have you been, dude?
just living.
Too busy.
L-I-V-I-N.
Too busy working, dude. Look, so we get a ton of people that still ask, where's Billy? Billy, we got him back in studio for you guys today. He does have a busy work schedule, and obviously it makes him difficult to be here. So we drug him in today. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, dude. We've got the Christmas setup going for you guys for the holidays.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
So listen, I did ask and tell everybody to wear an ugly Christmas sweater. I didn't realize that you guys who are like the least involved in Christmas, we're going to like ball out and go super crazy with it. So
It's not even that crazy. You're wearing a gray sweater.
Yeah, it's literally a Merry
It says
Christmas
Merry
sweater.
Christmas.
and listen,
And you're supposed to be the Christmas guy. You're a Grinch today.
No, I'm definitely the Christmas guy, but I do have to give a shout out to my girlfriend, Stephanie. She is the one that bought this. So you guys can't hate on it too much because you know she'll kill both of you. And today,
No, I'll call her right now and tell
Yeah,
her.
if
that's
you didn't
not-
want to
like, hey,
participate-
we like his sweater that you bought him.
Yeah, that's
but
really
it's not
cute.
an
she's
ugly
going
sweater.
to cuss
Yeah.
you out after watching this.
Okay.
So
Cute
sorry,
sweater, Stephanie. Thanks for getting that for
Sorry,
her.
Steph.
Next year, can you get an ugly sweater for him
Yeah.
so you could participate?
Well, she doesn't do ugly, so she does festive and things that look good. So I like
well,
it. I
you
like
just-
it.
you
This
didn't-
is a Clark
I'm just
Griswold.
saying, you didn't inform us to wear a festive sweater. You said wear an ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
Yours is
that what
definitely
you got?
ugly.
Yeah, well,
Yours
that's
is
why I'm
ugly
dressed
because you're
up.
on the front of it. So that's
Yeah,
definitely-
Billy, talk about yours.
Custom.
Hey, one thing I noticed when we got here today is how freaking hot it is in the studio. And the last one we did, it was absolutely freezing in here. So I'm not sure what's going on with the temperature control or what the deal is, but it is roasting in here. And when we were talking about Stephanie, it reminded me of back when we first started the podcast in the bedroom at my house.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Steph would crank the heater up just
did
to
on
mess with
purpose.
us.
Yeah.
And we'd be like sweating and we'd walk out of the room like, what the hell's going on? And then she'd be laughing and
And
then
then pit stains going
Yeah.
and everything.
yeah, the heater thermostat would be at like 80 degrees. So that's what it feels like right now. So if we're going back to history, it feels like it.
She's still
Well,
messing with
I'd
us.
like you people who are watching this to at least go back and check out some of the first episodes.
Yeah. Dude, you know
Just
what?
look at because I mean I haven't been here in a minute, and
It's
what
different.
you guys did here is
different.
Is amazing. It looks way better than the kids' playroom.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
remember I'd stubbed my toe on some dinosaurs before.
oh, dude, we all got hurt in that little tiny.
I broke some of your
Playroom.
kids' toys.
Yeah. My kids were pissed off because they're like, Daddy turned our playroom into a podcast room.
Yeah, can't even be in there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I
so-
did like that commute a little bit better.
Yeah, it does suck kind of driving over here, but and we're not in the nicest part of town either. So actually, sometimes I'm editing the show, I can always hear like sirens in the background going off. It is a police podcast, so we just I don't know. I guess we're
You should
bringing
just
it
turn
to
them
the
up.
show.
Just turn the sirens up.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But gosh dang it, it is hot in here. But listen, couple things. We asked for your guys' input or questions on social media, and we got a ton of them. So we're actually going to go over the questions and answer those for you today. Mark brought up some new laws that are going into effect in January of 2024.
all across the country, just to rattle off a few from different states that are kind of interesting to know.
Make sure you guys are up to speed with law. And then before we do that, you boys remember our friends over at 1097?
Yep.
So was gracious enough to hook us up with some beanies. So let me pull these out here.
Nice.
Here, one for you, one for you.
Thanks. Thanks, 1097.
Open them up
Thank
out of
you.
the plastic here. Yeah, check them out.
Yeah.
Then we got
Fortunately, it's 100 degrees in here, so
Yeah.
I won't be.
yeah,
wearing
we're not
it
wearing
for,
these today, dude.
for any extended time, but oh yeah,
Some cool stickers. Right on. Thank you. Hey,
Nice.
if you guys want to go help him out, support 1097. He is a fairly local. That looks good on you.
Yeah, it does, actually.
Law enforcement owned company in California. Go to 1097.org. Get you guys some apparel. He sells coffee. The coffee is actually really good.
Yeah.
He sent us a few bags before and we've ate it all up. Or actually, we drank it.
You probably
I
ate
didn't
it.
We didn't
but
eat it. Although Billy, I could see you chewing coffee for real.
I've done that before, actually.
So, thank you for the beanie. I appreciate it. 1097.org. Get your guys self some apparel.
You want to go through some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
right.
I got to bust out my phone here. You got your list.
All right. Have you guys ever spoke with officers from other countries and compared trainings? I have not.
Did you say slept or what did you say?
I said, have you guys ever, did I say slept?
I think you said slept with, dude.
No.
Where's your mind at?
Yeah.
Jesus,
have you
Kyle.
ever spoken with other
Yeah,
officers?
I said, have you ever spoken with other officers from other countries about training? I have never done that.
I know our SWAT team definitely does. They've done a couple of trainings with. Oh, look at that! I just got to work.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
See, that's what happens.
I don't think
I'll
I
have
have.
to look at that later. But no, our SWAT team they actually went to Israel, I think, a while ago. This is 10 years ago or something like that.
I'm gonna get the fuzz off your head there.
Oh, from my new beanie.
Yeah.
But I know I've talked to quite a few. I mean, we've had to do some international extraditions. So just talking, but not training wise. It's just, I think it'd be extremely difficult just because looking at, it's hard to train state to state in this country for people that aren't from the United States. Cause as we all know, the laws change.
Yeah.
You cross the border and those laws are completely different. And then we have federal laws that are completely different.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Laws even across the whole United States. So everybody does things kind of differently. So I personally haven't. I don't know if you have, but how does the background investigation work? Well, that's pretty complex. I mean, it probably just depends on where you live, but generally speaking, I think it starts obviously with an oral board. And if you get to make it to the point of going into backgrounds, you got to fill out a packet that literally documents everything from probably your adulthood. Yeah. I think it actually dated back to high school. Your teachers, it's in depth. So
they're all a little different because I just finished a background for the feds, and that was a little bit different. That they went into, a little more international stuff, and finances were big with that one. I found
feds are way more in depth than your local.
Yeah, and they do go out to your neighbors, to your neighborhood, and they're going to talk to your neighbors.
Former employees, former renters, roommates,
everybody,
pretty much anybody that you have been. That would know what kind of person you are.
Yeah, and if you move and I think if you've been there less than 2 years, then they're going to your older residence.
Yes,
so they're going to.
Yeah, so if you don't think they're going to go to your house and talk to your neighbors, and then the people that you put down for references, they're not just going to call those people. They're going to get friends that you were friends with in high school, and people that you would never even suspect they would contact. They're going to call them.
Isn't that what it's called? The
PHS, personal history statement.
Yeah, PHS. That's what it is. And that thing was like. It was a big
like 3 hours.
Yeah. It was a big packet. And then the psych and physical and everything. That's all part of the background too.
Yeah. It's in depth. Do you have a thing to read off? You have any questions on your phone?
Sure.
Here, I'll read this one while you're pulling that up. This is funny. Is Santa Claus real? I will say for kids, yeah.
What do you mean for kids?
Oh, I mean,
dude, he's real.
He is real.
Anybody that doesn't believe in Santa
You're the
Claus,
Grinch right now.
Yeah, you're getting freaking coal in your stocking.
Billy, what do you got?
How to take down bigger guys.
More people.
Yeah, more people.
You go low, tactics. I go high. Yeah. Good defensive tactics. I mean,
tasers sometimes. I'm not a taser guy, so I won't preach that.
I remember the conversation with that before. I don't think, sometimes I was always worried about the smaller people.
I was way more worried. The bigger guys usually
or women. I've been punched in the face more by women than I have guys.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. During the polygraph, can the investigator ask you questions on your, I think it's supposed to say past relationships? The answer to that is yes. They can ask you whatever they want on your polygraph. In fact, they're going to ask you questions on your polygraph test that are super uncomfortable to answer. I mean, they're strange, talking about like
a lot of sex stuff. They do ask a lot of sex questions.
Yeah, a lot of that. And then like, if you've ever done
putting
stuff
sex questions, actually,
like not just like with animals.
Yeah, like not just like your standard sex questions.
Yeah,
it's like shit that you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
yeah.
But some people are gonna be like, oh yeah. I've heard stories from background investigators in SAC, and they're like, oh yeah, they answer it, and you're just like, that is horrifically disgusting with an animal, but they think it's completely normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna ask you all kinds of stuff.
So yes, they can. That honestly, that'd probably be the least of your worries.
You want to read that one from Colby?
Yeah, sir.
It's directed specifically to you.
Probably.
It's only for you. Actually.
What's your favorite body wash? I'm an Irish Spring guy, so I keep it real with that.
I'm a bar of soap guy, so
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, bar of soap, Dove.
Yeah.
Sensitive skin.
I think it
smells
is
good.
whatever Costco has.
Yeah.
Do you guys really use bars of soap?
Yeah.
How else do
100%.
you? What else do you use?
Gel body wash, dude. With a loofah.
You have a
Oh
loofah?
my.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
come on.
Are you that guy that leaves a loofah in the shower at work?
No, that's
in the locker room?
disgusting. No, that's
You have
gross.
a loofah. You have a loofah. Okay. That
What do
body
you got?
wash
You got
was
one?
for you.
Tactics for good detectives.
That's all you, dude.
Yeah, that's
What
kind
do you,
of
I mean, like tactics wise, I would say be a good writer is going to be your number one thing.
Report
'Cause
writing.
What's that?
Report
writing, warrant writing. I think it's the obvious. Be a good investigator. Like know
Yeah.
how to dig into things would be very good tactics. And then the other thing is it completely depends on what you're detective of.
Yeah, that's
I know
that's
a lot
true.
of departments have general detectives, so you got to be everything. I've never had experience with general detectiving. Is that
Yeah,
a word?
well, you're more. I mean, you do fugitive apprehension, so like your guys.
Yeah, I mean, like tactics wise, you can talk about actual takedown tactics and stuff for some of those things, or surveillance tactics and things. We could do a whole show on.
Yeah.
A whole couple. We could probably do a
I
series.
think it
on
just. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it depends on what it is in the investigation world. Do you do like what you do? I think you have to have good small team tactics. You guys are taking down incredibly bad people, and you all have to be on the same page as far as like tactics go.
But I would say like generally like you're like like all detectives, be good at writing, be good at speaking, be good at presenting because that's what you're doing in court and to your district attorney's office or however
Well,
you're doing.
that makes me think actually. So going from I've been in detectives now for like 6 months, but like being a patrol cop, you do have to obviously really write good reports. But then I feel like now when you're in detectives, you have to basically write your stuff so that it's like not a question when it goes to jury, like beyond a reasonable doubt. All the evidence is there.
We have more time.
Yeah, we have way more time. You have more time to do all the digging, but the report writing piece is huge.
Well, because I mean, patrol generally is giving you that, like here's what we
that
think
like
happened.
51%. Yeah,
And then you're a detective, so you're literally, you're not just going like, here's what patrol said. You obviously have to do investigation and prove it. Basically, you're redoing everything that patrol does.
Yep.
That's a good perspective on it. I actually was never a detective, so I didn't see that side of it.
All you heard was tactics, and you were like, "Yeah, that's me."
Did you notice I didn't say anything?
No, that's good, dude.
Because I knew what Billy was, because Billy's smart and he's answered the question.
Make sure that goes. Gets
that's documented.
All right, so here's one. Do you think retention bonuses and or specialty pay for skills like DRE, phlebotomy are appropriate? I'm going with across the board, no, unless you are like a DUI unit and that's like your specialty and that's what your job is. Then
So is that
what specialized pay? Is that what was the question?
yeah, like or a retention bonus or special pay. So like a increase. So like if you're on SWAT, you get or detective, you get a pay bump.
I mean, I agree with like some things like detective, SWAT, K9,
Yeah.
things like that.
Anything
But like DHE, DRE.
Because you're good at DUIs and stuff. I'm going no.
I'm gonna go no. Like that's kind of like a good job doing your job.
Yeah. I agree. Like the DRE thing. I mean, our guys at our department don't get extra pay for that. I mean, that's a hard class. Actually, it's a lot of math and stuff involved. So clearly, I wouldn't pass it. But
well, I think the big thing is like SWAT, K9, most detectives.
Yeah,
like you're on a call out schedule too. Like your life is substantially changed when you're not working.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, hey, these are why they should get a little extra pay. Whereas like,
I think I think the way it works generally is like anything that is like significant towards your experience or knowledge for the department is where I think you get that little bump in pay. But I guess DRE actually could qualify for that. I mean, that's a pretty specialized thing, and it's hard.
Some departments give it for ICI courses.
Yeah.
But it's also people's interest. You know?
That's
It's
true.
like they have an interest and passion and that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So and we need them actually.
I mean, motor cops.
Oh, dude, that's what I was just going to say. It's like a motor cop.
I don't want to.
Is that a specialty?
Oh,
Yes, motor cops get extra pay.
We need to get a motor on here.
You got to be special to want to be a motor.
You can.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you think they wouldn't?
I don't know if their head would fit through the door.
Yeah,
That's true.
Or their britches
with the
They
helmet.
couldn't sit. Yeah, they couldn't.
Well,
even
they could
get
sit with
behind
their
the desk.
stretchy pants.
Yeah,
But they have a lot of room. We
should
probably
get a
very
motor.
comfortable.
yeah, we should get a motor in
Man,
here.
someone's gonna be so mad at me.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna get so much.
I'm pretty
shit.
sure we've talked about motors before, and like there was some comments like
Yeah, it's the only
motors
cop that
for
can wear
life.
yoga pants to work. I mean, it's,
That's true. And they don't like joking around. They love themselves. Here, do you think? Oh, you already read this one. What does it really mean to be a good cop? I mean, I think it just means, gosh, it's not a hard question to answer. It's just, to me, it's kind of a lot. So, I mean, policing in and of itself is you're working for the public, right? For the people. And so the communities that you serve. And I think really being able to police the people that you serve and give customer service and do everything, right. Treat people with respect. We always harp on that. Just being good at your job. And
I think a good cop is one that could go to a call for service, spend ample time with the victim, talking with them, do everything they possibly can, never make the victim feel like they're rushed, ask if they need any clarification or anything, and make that person feel like they were the only person that mattered at that time.
do you think can you accomplish that at busy departments where you've got a ton of calls pending and it's call to call to call?
I would say yes, and it's a disservice from management if they don't promote you to do that. If you are out there half-assing a call to get to another call to half-ass it, you're doing a disservice. And I don't think you're being a good cop, and that's not good leadership.
I think especially when you talk about like a cold report or something like that, or something that's, the danger's gone or something like that. Yeah, take your time at it. And if you have to leave, I've heard of people that are like, "Hey, I'll be back."
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
be
be back. I'll contact you, and we'll finish this later because something super major is happening.
So this discussion came up actually, I'll give an anecdote the other day at work actually, where, trying to get these younger patrol cops who want to go out and be proactive and hunt and get all these, take bad guys to jail, right? Because I think sometimes when you're new, that's all you think that's important is just taking people to jail, which it is important. But there was an influx in this certain business district where like all the business owners who own their small mom and pop, businesses. And they're, obviously we all know theft is on the rise. And all the business owners were complaining about all the theft that was going on. And, some of these people spend their whole livelihoods in investing their own money into starting up their own businesses. And they don't make a whole lot of money. And trying to get, I think, some of the younger cops to probably focus a little bit more on that. And maybe it's doing the less fun things at work, like extra patrols in these little business districts, or getting out of your car, talking to the business owners, making them feel like you're there trying to help their problem with whether it's the homeless or theft, like whatever. But that is important.
I think that goes like back to the question of how to become a good detective or something. It starts with that. Like if if you want to be detective, take the reports.
Yeah.
The reports that nobody wants. Take a bunch of reports, because guess who's reading those? The detectives.
Yep.
And they're going to see your name and they're going to be like, "Oh, this person actually knows what they're doing." Or call up the detectives and be like, "Hey, what can I do better? Or what do you need from me on this?" And therefore be a good patrol cop becomes a good detective.
That's great advice, actually.
Well, yeah, because if you're a patrol cop and you're sending these reports back to the detectives to do follow-up on or whatever, like you're right. I'm now seeing it where they definitely read the patrol cops reports and they have a running list of what cops write good reports and the ones that write trashy reports. Yeah. And then when you're the dude that puts in for that detective spot, those detectives definitely remember that. And they'll round table like, he writes or she writes a pretty poor report.
Yeah, and
won't get selected.
I think that the detective should have a lot of say on who works with them. I mean, that's a note to management out there.
Yeah,
I know there's some departments that are not like that. It's very management is saying this person's going there.
Yeah.
But when you come to small teams and stuff like that, working with that small team is very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, the members of the team are best to decide that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one. It says, what advice would you give someone that is 38 years old and starting their career in law enforcement? When Kyle and I were in the academy together, we went through with a guy that was 40 years old And he was a stud.
I think he graduated number 1 in the class.
I think De Leon was.
Well, he was definitely up there in the class.
Or maybe for SAC PD, De Leon was number 1. But he was a stud. He was a top, physically a stud. And what I remember about him is he was like very supportive of everybody, like very nice and supportive, and was willing to help everyone. And you didn't get that from the younger people.
Yeah, so he did quit, like, I think the first week after we graduated, but he found out that this job wasn't for him, which was crazy. But what I think that he brought to the table was life experience and the maturity part of it, which, so you had him, he was easily 40 or in his early 40s.
Yeah, he was 40.
And then you had me on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I was 20 years old, and so I had zero life experience. And you're right.
He was 20 years, so he could have been your dad.
Yeah, he could have been. McCann, that was his name. I still remember that.
Yeah.
Good dude. But so anyways, he brought the life experience. He was kind of was a father figure of our class. So and then when you roll that out to patrol and you're actually, doing the work, I think that pays dividends of just being able to do this job as a professional. I mean, the life experience and the age thing and maturity is huge. And, I think that goes a far way. I will say, make sure you're taking your glucosamine.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought about, dude. Your glucosamine, dude, for your joints, because you're going to have a hard time in the academy unless you're super physically fit.
Do you not get that from your Taco Bell diet? Your pre-workout?
Yeah, I
Taco
do.
Bell
That's
Rockstar diet?
Yeah, that's why I take my bean and cheese burrito with my nacho cheese dip.
Oh, it's like a supplement. I get
Which
it.
I got hated
I'm a
on
year
for that.
away from 40, so
Yeah.
I mean, physically, it's not that
Could you go to
hard.
the academy right now?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
you think you do better now, right?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'd be less stressed about it, I think, maybe.
well,
Yeah.
knowing what you know now, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really the big part of the academy to me is like, it's just like a mental game. They just try to stress you out. The physical part of it, I mean, unless you're extremely out of shape, it's not, the running was the hardest thing for me.
Let's be honest. Let's look at some of the cops that we've all worked with.
Yeah, they pass.
And
So
they're not the
had
most
one in our class.
physically
Yeah.
in shape, and
Yeah.
they've done okay. So age is not that big of an issue. I don't
No,
know.
not at all.
I actually
You
think it
probably
works
have
to
an
your favor.
advantage.
Yeah, I agree.
Good work.
Okay, let's see here. How do you prepare for the educational side of the academy? A lot of academy questions. I would say, I don't think you can necessarily, like, there isn't one or two, like there is nothing in particular that you can educationally study for in the academy. Like, you're going to get the education side when you're in the academy, and there's so much knowledge, like education out there that you just, I don't know. Personally, I don't think you can.
I think you definitely can, but I think that I think they give you ample amount of time and
Maybe
stuff
grammar?
like that. But I think the biggest thing is devote when you're in the academy. I mean, some people go the extended ones, but say you're for California 6-month long academy, basically devote your 6 months is academy.
Yes.
So like you're going to get all your stuff and say, okay, we're doing this module or this chapter, whatever you want to call it for this week or day or whatever. And that's when you get good at your academics, is when you get it, study it then. So it's fresh.
Yeah, it's hard, but it would be hard to like pinpoint, like,
Yeah, but
study
the whole,
for this.
the academy's all broke up into, like what you said, modules. It's like this week is this, the next week is that. So you're not like flooding with a bunch of a mess. It's like, it's very concentrated. This week it's all about penal code. The next week it's all about report writing.
Right.
So I think they set it up. So I don't know how much you would need to go in.
Yeah, I don't think you can like
I don't know.
study
I don't
when
think
you're
you
there.
can.
I don't think you can like prep for it. Like you
No.
do like physically run a lot. Like you don't need to be super strong for the academy. You need to have good cardio.
Yes.
But I think mentally, like maybe know how to read a book. I don't know, like any book.
Yeah. Well, grammar too.
Like
Like,
grammar and
Grammar,
reading comprehension.
yeah,
Those are big.
Yep. And then, because if you fail a certain amount of tests in the academy, you're kicked out, which I think I mentioned way early on when we started this podcast, when I think I failed like 3 tests that I had to retake.
And if you get right, three
two.
retakes.
No,
Two
you get
retakes.
you get 1 retake. So like if you,
The second time you fail it, you're out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that there's only 3 times that you're
Yes, 3
allowed-
times.
3
Yeah.
times that you're allowed to do a
Yeah.
retake.
I think I hit that mark.
I did
think
too.
it was like 1 more for me and I was done.
Yeah.
So
That's weird because you were just out of high school. So
Yeah.
I don't
you
know.
should have been pretty good at
That public school obviously didn't work out well for me. I don't know what happened.
Here, I actually will have one more question. I think I actually really like this one. It says, "Mom is just starting with guns. What should she be concentrating on for her protection?" I kind of take it as like a gun question of like safety and protection.
Which funny because none of us are gun nuts.
No, totally not a gun person. But I'm going to say when I started the academy, I'd never shot a gun or handled a gun. And what I really liked is that we got the handgun, unloaded it, and then disassembled it and assembled it multiple times. So I had like a good understanding of how the gun actually worked. So I was less scared to hold it because I understood. But I think that goes back to any type of gun safety. Like it should just be used in a safe manner, pointed in a safe direction, and always looked at as it's loaded. And if your mom or anybody that's older is getting into it for their protection, take some classes, use it, take it apart, and just understand that it's once you shoot, you can't take that bullet back.
Yeah, I think that another big thing that goes out to everybody who wants a weapon for home protection or for self-protection, whatever, is, ask yourself the tough questions. Can I do it? Can I take someone's life with this?
Yeah.
Because that's something that a lot of people don't think about. And there's a lot of psychology behind it about, you're basically pointing a gun, whether they want to kill you or not, that's another issue. But you're taking someone's life when you pull that trigger. You have to be willing to do that. And I know there's people out there that aren't.
Oh yeah, there's cops that can't do that.
It's completely fine. Maybe not for cops, but
Maybe
well, it's not
for
fine. But I'm saying you're saying that people don't think about that and they don't have the mental capacity to actually do it when the time comes. And we know that there are cops that can't even do that.
And I think that, having the real question to yourself before you go out and buy a gun and say, I'm going to get a gun to protect myself. Because a gun, if you're not going to kill whatever's trying to hurt you or kill you, then it's useless and it's actually more of a harm than anything.
Yeah, because you just brought a lethal weapon to a fight, and
Exactly.
if you're not willing to use it, but yeah, so I think definitely fundamental basics of the actual firearm itself, and then the basic knowledge of just training. You definitely don't have to be high speed, and you don't have to go to some crazy high speed tactical shooting class. I think just be proficient.
I think dry firing is probably most, especially with ammunition costs these days.
Yeah.
Like do a lot of, if you want to be proficient in shooting, do a lot of dry firing.
Yeah. Because when you do dry fire, you'll realize that you even flinch. If you're not like proficient, you flinch dry firing.
Yeah.
And that helps you work out of that.
Yeah. Practice those good tactics and, good sight pictures, the perfect world way, because you're not shooting a gun or you're not firing a round. But, and also dry fire or not, still make sure it's pointed in a safe spot.
Yeah, not through a wall at a neighbor's house.
Yeah. So good luck, Mom. We hope
she'll be fine.
Yeah.
You want to answer another question, or you want to jump into some new laws next year?
No, let's finish up some of these questions.
There was one that I thought was good.
What is it? Here's a good one. What does it take to implement a UAS program, so a drone program, into a department that doesn't have one? So, man, it's shocking to hear that the departments don't have them now. I mean, they're such a versatile program. I know that
UAS is drones for those.
Yeah. And yep. So the drones are like a vital.
Yeah, but do you know how to implement it?
Yeah. Well, I'm getting there.
Well, you're just like,
I know okay. So it starts with this. It starts with a proposal.
Okay. So thanks for answering the question.
Yeah. So get together a proposal, but in your proposal, you have to share why you feel it's necessary or that the department needs that equipment because it does cost money.
I don't think that's the question that they're answering. I was like, implementation, you're talking about the licensing and all that and everything. It's not an easy task, especially for a small department. It's not cheap. It's not going out and buying a drone and being like, here, let's go fly this thing. You got to go to ground school. Basically, they're a step below pilots.
Yeah, the test that you have to take to actually be a drone pilot, I think, is damn near the same as
they are pilots. They have to do the ground school,
FAA pilot test
and all that, and obviously the requirements of flying a plane or flying a drone are where it's separate. But and then they have to check in with all these stuff and have license, and it's actually a nightmare.
Yeah, I would say if your department doesn't have one, you should draft up a proposal and go in front of your chief or your command staff and tell them why you feel you should need it. And then if you're the guy or gal that's wanting to do that, you're going to have to put in all the freaking legwork and get policies from other agencies. And it's no easy task, but it's one that I think is worth it because they are such a valuable tool in law enforcement.
Yeah, talk to your neighboring agency. If you're a smaller department, your bigger agencies usually are willing to help.
Yeah, we did an episode on this with Sergeant Fox. He implemented a whole for a large agency.
I don't want to give out his info on here, but tell you what, if you have any questions about drones, you can DM us on the side via Instagram or email us, and we'll get you in contact with somebody that is very adverse with what we're talking about. They can help you get a program started.
I'm not. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, I don't claim to be either. I just know that they're.
Well, you started talking like,
you kind of did.
That's why I was like, do you know how to do this?
Drones are these things. They're unmanned.
Yeah.
This is what everybody misses.
And this is what I'm great
This
at.
is what everybody misses when we're doing the show with the three of us, is everyone bashes on Kyle.
Well,
that's what everyone
just
loves.
bring it
Just
upon
make
yourself.
it so easy.
I know.
And especially with a cute gray sweater.
Well, you guys said I have a cute little beard, so it's not,
It's a chin strap. It's not a beard.
My back actually itches really bad, and I can't get to it with this with the restriction itch my back up here. It's oh my god, I can't. There's no flexibility in this jacket. I'm like struggling over here.
Bad guy in a little coat.
Oh
like
my God.
Not that Mark's fat at all. But big guy in a little coat.
Yeah,
I think you're real cool now.
it is so hot in here.
I got a question that we could go on for hours and among hours.
Gosh.
But we'll make it quick. What is it?
How to get into a specialized unit within a department.
Oh, we did a video on this too a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure.
How about you sum it up?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really, I think it goes back to depending on where you want to go. Like I said, detectives write good reports, talk to those people. I think the biggest thing is just talk to the specialized team and see what they're looking for and get known with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, look, I came from the canine world and SWAT for Mark. If you want to be a part of a team like that, you got to go out, put in the work with those teams, go to trainings with them. Yeah. Volunteer your time, just depending on what it is. But if like canine was putting on the bite suit, taking dog bites, I wasn't putting in for overtime. You've done it.
Yeah. I've done the bites.
I know you did it. I mean, look.
Well, both.
I did. I never got canine though.
Yeah. Well, inadvertently, you took some bites.
Inadvertently took bites too.
Well, I did, but I never made the unit. I should have interviewed for it.
Yeah. So
But and then we could go the SWAT route. Obviously, don't be a fat slob too.
Yeah.
What would you say? Because a lot of people that watch this are interested in getting into SWAT. Like, what is something? Because I know at least for my department, they allow people to come out to trainings sometimes. I don't know, like the limitations of what they can and can't do, but
you should try and go out. Even if you don't want to be on the SWAT team, you should be going out to the trainings.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
You really actually learn a lot of different advanced things that it shouldn't be advanced, but it is. And you learn how there's different tactics and different movements, and you can learn a lot from that. But I think being in good physical fitness, because you represent the department as a whole, and there's also SWAT competitions that people compete in. But then also, when you're out on the street, you need to be confident in your decision making. That's why we talk about that a lot, is being confident, critical think, have good communication, not lose your mind, and be think larger, not just immediately and quick, but think if I immediate and quick, what's the next step? And think bigger and slow things down. So when you get to the point where you're trying to be on the team, you're already there, because they're going to look at people that are high speed, but have motivation and the ability to slow down.
Well, and you made me or reminded me, it's be a good leader, because when you become on these specialty teams and you show up, K9, SWAT, detectives or whatever, there's going to be supervisors, lieutenants, captains, sergeants, whatever. They're going to come up to you and be like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And you have to be like, here's what we do. This. You become the leader really quick, and people are going to be looking to you for answers, and you better have the right one.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't want to be that guy or girl when a position opens up, they fly it, and then all of a sudden you've shown no interest in it, and then boom, you're throwing in a memo of interest, and it's like, well, where have you been all along? You can do that, and that's fine, I guess.
Probably, you're probably not going to get the job, but
you're probably not, and so don't get upset, if you don't. But
yeah, anyways. the team's going to look at every team's going to look at who's coming to their team.
Yeah, I can tell you, I know how we do it. Is we get a bunch of names, they come out, and we'll sit there. Sometimes, hanging out, having a good time, and be like, sometimes it's like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And someone will be like, and if there's one person that really loves that person, maybe there's an argument, but all it takes is one, sometimes fuck no. And people are like, I don't even know who that is. Whatever. Let's move on.
Yeah. Because if there's
It's
already
just like
a
that.
discussion
you're
and
right.
an argument about a person, it's always going to get worse.
Yeah.
So if there's a discussion or argument on not taking someone, pass.
Yeah.
Take the next guy where there is no argument of why we should not.
Yeah, there's going to
Everybody should
be,
be
it's going to be a lot of oh, this guy. It's going to come down to girl, whatever, three, 4 people. And that's what's going to come down to. So be one of those 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
and then, have what you need.
Yeah. And I think the last thing to add to that is what can you bring to the team to make the team better? And I'm not talking about in SWAT, like, oh, I'm good at tactics. Like you're going to learn tactics, but
that's
what can you bring? What specialty, what talent do you actually have?
right.
For detectives, like what talent do you have to make the team better? Canine, like, do you have access to different locations? Like, what are you bringing to make the team better?
Yeah. I can talk to dogs.
Yeah.
That's what
Kyle
the
is.
dog whisperer. Okay, here's a good one.
Speak bark.
Bark.
Here's a good one. Give your funniest story about Mark being a germaphobe. Well, I just want to start out by saying Mark is a bit of a psycho when it comes to maybe germs or, I remember like early when we first graduated the academy and you called me on the phone, you're like, hey dude, when you drive home, do you do like 5 laps around your neighborhood to make sure nobody's following you? I'm like, I'm like, no, do you do that? And you're like, yeah, dude, I do that. And then I park in my neighbor's driveway so that, if someone's following me, they think I live there. And I'm like, dude, you're crazy.
This is not germaphobe related.
I know, but I just wanted to throw that. Because
hey, let's just take shots at Mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're at it,
germaphobe. I don't know. I mean, I know you are
just totally just like, let's take a shot at Mark.
Yeah, dude. Like I had, like that was like built up a little
you
bit.
definitely
yeah,
wanted
dude.
to
It was
get
like
that
you
out.
reach out to shake my hand, and you kick me in the groin. Like it didn't make any sense.
Well, no one ever followed him home, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
Because no one ever followed him home. He had good tactics.
Burned everyone.
Yeah.
Counter surveillance.
Yeah.
Dude, driving 110 miles an hour home on the freeway. I don't know that you're a are you a germaphobe? I mean,
I don't know if I'm a germaphobe. I'm
kind of
aware. Like I wash my hands and stuff, and that's not because I'm like afraid of like getting sick. I just don't want like nasty stuff on my hands.
Yeah, every time we do travel though, obviously we travel a lot. It's like you do take the extra mile to like wipe things off and you wash your hands all the time.
Yeah. And it's not because I'm afraid of like of getting sick. Like I'm just not afraid of that. I'm afraid of like, I don't like the nastiness from somebody else. Like the sickness doesn't bother me,
Well, we were in the airport last week and remember we went to the bathroom in an airport and there was some dude in there literally brushing his teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, this airport was like full of people, public bathroom. That's disgusting. And this dude was in there brushing his teeth at the sink.
Yeah.
That was gross.
Yeah, that was weird.
I definitely don't see you doing that.
No.
Yeah, that even grossed me out. So
I'll use bottled water.
I don't know that he's a germaphobe,
Yeah,
but for sure he's a little cuckoo in his own other ways. So
I mean, I think that just
paranoid. That's a good
I mean,
word.
you do law enforcement long enough and you're around blood and nasty things where you just become somewhat of everything's so dirty that you're around.
Yeah.
Especially dealing with homeless and druggies and stuff like that. You become hyper vigilant, I think, of it.
Yeah, you're definitely aware of it.
It's not necessarily being a germaphobe. It's just, I don't.
Yeah, you just
like
realize that
people's nastiness, like you said.
taking people's shoelaces out at the jail, you realize the first time you do it without gloves and the seasoned officer's like, that is absolutely disgusting. Think about when you're peeing and the transits, shoelaces are gross.
Yeah, shoes are gross. Ugh.
Yeah, when I worked at the jail,
let's hear some
probably
gross
would
jail
go
stories.
through at least a box of those latex gloves a night.
But the smell, dude, sometimes like even if you're gloved up, like popping
straight PTSD I get from whenever I go back to the jail, whenever I book somebody, I get that waft of smell of just the jail smell. And if you know what jail we're talking about and you've been there, you definitely know what I'm talking about.
Somebody asked me the other day at work, actually, what to describe the scent of the jail, the booking area of your jail.
Oh, it's like,
and I'm like mothy, like feet,
like and weird food. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I think that is
It's
the
like
best
kitchen
way.
feet is what I would
disgusting.
call it.
Dirty feet, like ugh. Like going to McDonald's, right? And you're like, well, you guys don't have kids, but you go to let your kid play on the little playground at McDonald's, whatever, and like you smell that nasty, gross feet smell of like little kid feet or whatever, like dirty feet.
I know that what I'd say is booking is like stinky, but then you go into like our sobering cell. That's a whole different level.
What's the sobering cell?
The sobering cell is where like the observation cell, where you have a bunch of people that are probably more drunk or more
big
likely
cell in the
one with the windows right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
That's where you can. It's like the zoo. We'll just say
it is like that, dude. I've seen people in there like just duking it out with each other, like
that room has a different smell to it. That
because you got
it's
all sorts of walks of life in there.
Like
You got the transient laying in the corner and sitting next to the guy wearing the suit that just got a DUI.
Yeah, like you. I can see like a guy like you getting booked in jail.
Oh, I've seen guys wearing suits like that and stuff, and there.
You're getting tossed in that tank, dude. You're not gonna do
with a guy that's talking to himself in the corner with 17 layers of clothes on.
Yeah,
another
sweating.
guy. I've seen people drinking the toilet water. And you're just like, what is going on? That is if we could do like a pay-per-view of that, I guarantee you it'd be $1 million in a year. Easy.
Yeah, probably get some videos out of there. I could see you, Mark, in the corner, just in a fetal position.
Oh, I've seen the guys just sitting there like looking. Some guy comes up to them and's like, they'll be eating their food or whatever and be like, "Can I have that?" They're like,
You can have all of it, sir.
yeah, like I'm not, and they're normal people who got DUI,
DUI or something, yeah,
drunk in public or whatever, and they're in there with somebody who's been in there quite a few times probably.
And I've seen people in there. I'm like, dude, I legit feel bad for that person. Yeah, ugh.
Yeah, it's gross. When they go in there and they are like at the height of their drunkenness.
Yeah,
and,
or they want to be a tough guy.
Yeah, and then like you see them like a few hours later when they're coming down from being drunk, you're like, ooh, they might quit drinking. They might not ever drink again.
Yeah,
that's a rude awakening.
That's why it's called the sobering cell. It'll sober you up real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's disgusting. Now, I feel like I smell it now. Yeah. So,
wait, let me read some new laws and then
then come back to it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So just a couple quick ones. California, starting January 1st, 2024, makes child sex trafficking a serious felony, which is interesting that it was a misdemeanor and there's so much.
Well, it wasn't a misdemeanor. It wasn't a serious felony.
Oh, okay.
So it was
so now
it was admitted bail or it was optional for a no bail
or like early release from prison or whatever.
Recognizance.
Okay. New law for enhancing jail time for those trafficking more than a kilo of fentanyl. A new law eliminating the statute of limitations for victims of childhood sexual assault that occur on or after January 1st, 2024. And then the last one that I saw that was kind of interesting is it's keeping cities and counties from imposing cruising bans on streets so people can cruise. They used to not be able to cruise in Sacramento, and they actually just recently lifted that.
Sunrise.
Yeah, when
I was a kid.
One of the streets around here that was a big thing.
Yeah. In Idaho, they're removing the student ID card from the list of approved documentation to register to vote. And they're enacting a new Clean Slate Act, which gives low-level offenders a fresh start. So what they can do is petition the Idaho court to seal records surrounding one low-level nonviolent crime.
Oh, so here we go. So already California is bleeding over into Idaho.
Interesting.
Laws.
Alabama,
But I mean, like, is that the worst? Like, you're talking one low level.
That's how it starts. I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that's how it starts.
That's how it starts because obvious reasons. But I mean, like, we're talking nonviolent, low level.
Yeah.
I got caught with drugs when I was 18 or something kind of thing. And like, what kind of, like, I wasn't selling it. I just had maybe that.
Okay. I get behind that.
I had some weed.
Yeah.
I totally it could be weed.
Okay.
I don't know.
I get behind that. I just feel like that's how it starts. And then it progressively, look at where we're at in California. It's like,
I mean, but you have to have, God, I'm going to sound pretty bad here. You have to have some sort of progression in things.
I guess.
Like, I mean, we can go back to ancient laws and the 50s and stuff like that. And
no, I agree.
And you're gonna look at those and be like, ooh, that had to change.
Okay, so I like how they put a stipulation on it where it says one.
Yeah.
Okay, I get behind that. That's cool.
Alabama, they're increasing boating criminal offenses. They'll reclassify boating violations, so probably minors to a little more. The CAD-NOAA Act. It will require all law enforcement officers to take training for working with people who have sensory needs and invisible disabilities.
So basically they're creating a classification for people to work with guys like yourself
with sensory needs and invisible
disabilities. Like you can't see his disabilities going on, but they're there.
All right. Oregon, if you go to the hospital or drug treatment program for opioid addiction or overdose. When you are discharged, they give you and are going to have to now prescribe you or give you a Narcan.
I mean, we're doing that here in California. You can go anywhere.
Yeah,
and
I
get
mean,
that.
like I'm on face value. I mean, get into politics
Well,
or whatever. On
not-
face value, I'm completely okay with it. But at whose cost is that?
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know.
Taxpayers, taxes going up.
But yeah. If you did not know this, in Oregon, only the state and a few select counties used to be able to do photo radar traffic enforcement. So like radar for speeds.
Okay.
But now, starting January 1st, 2024, all cities and police departments can actually use radar. So if you live in Oregon,
But photo radar, which is the basically like red light camera version of
which we have in California.
yeah. So now, if you live in
Get a
Oregon,
ticket
they're
in the
probably going
mail
to be
for
a
going
lot.
for speeding.
Yeah,
Do you have the crazy law from Oregon on there where you can't pump your own gas?
they changed that.
That's
You can
been
pump
changed
it
for a
now.
while.
You can now?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do you know why they did that?
I
They
have,
did that so because there was not a lot of employment in Oregon, so they started employing people to pump gas to generate jobs.
because I literally a year ago was in Oregon and got out to pump my own gas, not knowing that law, and got yelled at by the gas attendant. And I'm
It's
like, "Are you
not-
kidding?"
Well, they still have attendance there.
Yeah, they do, and it's optional. You could still
Yeah.
have them do it, and you used to be able to pump diesel.
Yeah,
Now-
diesel is.
Well, they legit
Yeah, you
refused to allow me to pump my own gas.
Yes.
I mean, they can. I mean, as a business owner, you can do that.
Well, yeah, but they said it was a law. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
A year ago, I don't think it was a law.
Maybe it was 2 years ago.
6 months ago, it was.
I think it had changed.
Anyways,
like 2 years
I
ago.
think that is
remember it
probably
being
one of the
a big thing.
craziest laws I've ever heard of. But
All right.
go
I
ahead.
mean, like created jobs.
yeah, I guess.
And then created a lot of work comp cases for breathing
Yeah,
fumes of
fumes.
fuel all day long.
Yeah. See where his head goes?
In New York, you could be a lifeguard now at 15 years old.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
And commercial garages in New York must contain electric vehicle charging stations. And then Illinois, the minimum wage is increasing. In a lot of states, it's actually increasing, but this Illinois. And then
Hold on. What does it say what it is increasing to?
No, it's just increasing.
It's increasing to more money.
Okay. Do you know what ours is in California? It just went up.
I have no idea.
I want to say it's like, don't quote me on this, but
23, 22.
no, I thought it was like
No,
17
I think I was
or
like 16 is.
yeah, it's like 16 or 17 bucks an hour. That's a
I got
lot.
this thing called
You gotta look it
Google.
up.
It's
Yeah.
pretty
Pull
cool.
it up. I
I
want to.
think In-N-Out Burger, an amazing hamburger joint in the state of California, and in other states too. I think starting wage is like 22.
Well, I know that,
1550.
really. I thought it was actually. I mean, that's a
Effective
lot.
January
but-
1st, 2023
okay. Is it going up?
is the minimum wage going up 16. It's
Okay,
going up
so-
to 16 in January.
So this coming year it'll be $16 an hour in
Yep.
California. That's high.
I made $4.75 an hour in my first job.
Yeah, when I
That was
became a
minimum wage.
cop, my first year as a cop, I was making $14 an hour in the academy. Wasn't even making minimum wage. But yeah, Idaho.
it.
I think it was Idaho. They just opened an In-N-Out Burger. And
Yeah, but you were,
dude,
you were
way,
making $14 an hour at 20 years old. That's
yeah,
not bad,
Back
though.
in
Back then.
2006.
that wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
That was
not
good
at all.
money actually.
Yeah,
You're
well,
making more than most people.
Hey, there's
age.
some cops out here probably watching this show that make around that as a police officer. I mean, I've seen flyers.
I
on
was like
social media.
2000. What'd you say? What year?
2006.
2006. I was making like
Way more than that.
no, I wasn't.
Really?
Oh, I was making. I think I started at $12 an hour.
I think I was making quite a bit in the academy. In fact,
What were you making at Starbucks as a barista?
I don't even remember. I don't know. But I do remember at the academy, I put zeros on my tax form. So my paychecks, they never withheld state or federal taxes.
Yeah.
And I was making more money than everybody. And I was like, this is great until the end of the year came. And I was like, oh my God, I had to
Yeah.
pay so much.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you, buddy?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, if you're young and you're getting into this
Exempt
job,
the whole time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And don't also, here's another little good piece of advice that I did that I would not recommend doing. If when you get hired as doing this job in the police world, like you're going to start making good money, don't go out and just buy yourself some brand new expensive car. I did that. That was so stupid.
What'd you buy?
Remember I bought that F-250
Oh, that
diesel
lifted
and then
truck?
I freaking lifted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like it was
Yeah.
cool, but it wasn't cool when I got those monthly payments every month. And then, I wanted to go buy other things and I couldn't. So I
did
would
not
advise
do
them to
that.
do that. Yeah. I see guys doing it all the time though. Even at my work, I'll pull in the back lot and some of these brand new cops are like rolling in like freaking sick new trucks. And I'm like, ugh.
I paid my way through the academy, so I borrowed a car and carpooled to drive to the academy. And then
Well,
when I
yeah.
was out, I still didn't have any money, so I bought I think I bought a used Honda Accord.
You used to have a little piece of crap Civic or something.
I did have a Honda Civic
Yeah,
that I drove and then the AC went out in it, and I never fixed it.
You still have a little piece of crap car that you drive around in. Should we tell them about the V-Dub?
Oh, the V-Dub, dude, that classic car. That's why I got the windows tinted
Tranny
out.
clinks in that thing. Freaking never know if it's going to run. And the sad thing is we rely on that thing to constantly commute us back and forth to the airport.
I know. I have a nice new truck. You have a nice new truck, and you refuse to drive.
I have a work car.
Well, yeah, but you can take us to the airport.
He has a nice new truck that's very rapidly turning into not a nice new truck because he never cleans it.
Yeah, and I never drive it.
You never, I mean, like you look at it, you're like, have you ever cleaned this? Do you have a license plate for it yet?
Not yet. I still haven't gotten it.
It's been over a year, probably.
It's been a year, almost a year, yeah. I got to look into that, actually.
Like he basically has the same truck as you, but yours is like, it's night and day.
Way nicer.
Yours is so much nicer than his.
Yeah, yours is a lot nicer than mine, so.
Actually, yours is the newer body style too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the questions on here.
This is shit.
That's nice. It's got a little dust on it. So
It's
what?
got like
some leaves.
200,000 miles on it already.
Hey guys, should I get this truck that has 220,000 miles on it for 22,000, or should I get this one that has 90,000 miles for 24,000?
Dude, I'm always bargaining for a good deal on a vehicle. I'm never one of those guys I told you I learned my lesson early. Never buy a new car.
You bought a car with a ton of fucking miles on it.
You saved $2,000 for a truck that had 100,000 extra miles on it.
Still saved $2,000. That's actually financially responsible. Anyways,
hard to argue that.
Please respond to that.
Here's a good question I wanted to get to. How long does it take for a rookie to get the hang of things in a big city new cop?
Oh, like I mean, general hangs. Like I mean, like you running every day, every single day.
Yeah.
There's never a time in my career where I've said I know everything and I'm 100% comfortable.
But I always say the golden rule for me is give it a solid year before you feel a little bit comfortable with what you're doing.
Ooh, a year, dude. I'm going.
I'd say
5.
I'm saying
5 years.
I'm saying just being comfortable, showing up to work, managing your calls. I'm not saying you're an expert or an all-star in a year. I'm definitely not saying that because I will agree. I like to give it the 5-year rule. But at least your first year, you're kind of getting the hang of things. You're meeting your new partners. I think it takes at least a year.
It depends on the department and call volume and everything. Because I mean,
there's
big
city.
People like you go to a smaller department and it'll take 10 years to get the call volume.
That's true.
That somebody in a big city does in 1 year.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
So that's why you can't say it's this amount of years or whatever. And the way departments operate are completely different.
That is true.
You know,
it's definitely true. But to answer his question, big city,
I'd say 2 years is when you start to feel
pretty comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is when you start to feel comfortable. But I think the 5-year mark is a little more realistic as to when you are.
And we all know at the 5-year mark,
I never did
you know
I never
everything.
made the 5-year mark. So in patrol. So.
Well, I was joking.
Yeah,
when
but you
I say
worked in
that,
the sheriff's department. You had like different opportunities, jail.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's what I'm
your
saying is like
exposure
I
was way
did 4
different.
years in the jail, which is something.
Yeah,
that's actually a lot of good experience.
I think it was for me. It was a lot of great experience. So I mean that's why it's hard to say what it is, but I think that a minimum of 2 years in patrol, like don't even put in for anything specialty
I agree.
or anything
Don't
until at least 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Or promotions or anything too.
Yeah.
There's some
Well,
people
definitely
that
not
do
promotions
after a year, I think.
Did you want to open any of my gifts?
Dude, that is so ridiculous. Where do you even get that?
I actually made this sweater.
Did you really?
You're over here thinking I don't have no Christmas spirit.
Well, do you have
Billy
a tree?
made his sweater.
Do you actually, hold on, do you have a tree this year?
I do have a tree.
You got one?
I'll send you a picture when I get home.
How big is it?
On the table, 2 feet.
So you went to Target and you bought probably a little or Walmart, little 2-foot table.
Yeah.
Or
it's
tree
beautiful
to put on a table.
Yeah.
You didn't get an actual tree.
Well, it is an actual tree.
Oh my gosh.
Is your tree an actual tree?
No. So I will say mine is fake. Steph does a phenomenal job decorating it though.
Look at this guy trying to be all nice and get Christmas gifts.
Nah, I'm real.
Are you a real cut it down?
Christmas tree.
Did you go and cut it down?
Went and cut it down.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Every year? I thought you had a fake tree.
No. I have a fake like 2-foot tree.
But you actually have a real Christmas tree with lights and
lights. Put the lights on. Put the ornaments on.
That's
Clean
cool.
up the needles.
He did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I could see Billy. Well, never mind. You've seen Christmas Vacation in the movie, and then the whole thing. lights up on flames. On
Oh
fire.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just sense like that
Billy's
going
got a
on at
little
your
more
house.
construction background and isn't gonna.
I could just see it getting like super dry. Like, he actually did hang lights up at his house this year.
I did more than you.
Yeah, that's
did.
questionable. I actually made like cool little lighted arch.
But you didn't like put any. Did you even put any on your house?
Yeah, of course I did.
I don't know.
I actually
Yes, I
like the
did.
archways. That was pretty creative, and I'm
you.
gonna do that to my garden this year, more permanent for like beans and stuff.
What? Beans? Where?
Beans?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
My father-in-law did the same thing,
Yeah, it's a great look.
and he did. I think he did a tomato one too. Actually,
Ah.
it was pretty cool.
You're
And
gonna
you
grow
just
beans?
Walk under and you
Yeah,
just-
Kyle, let the adults talk real
Yeah.
quick.
I didn't. Okay, if you.
Yeah,
I don't.
So because beans have to grow up something, so usually you put some type of something for it to grow up.
Gladys or whatever.
something
Yeah,
that's
but I
a
like
vine,
that
anything
arch
that's a
idea.
vine.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could do like a grape arch too or something.
Oh, you probably could. But I saw your arches and I liked it, and I was complimenting you.
Thank you.
And
And
I
then
actually
you
liked the
were
idea.
taking shots at him.
Yeah.
No,
and
I
he complimented you.
Wasn't taking shots. I just wanted to clarify you were going to grow beans.
I mean, there's other opportunities, but that's just what came to my
Okay.
mind.
Okay. So listen, we're wrapping up the year. Anything you guys have got planned for next year, rolling into 2024? Vacations or anything?
Going on a snowboarding trip.
Which you do every year, right?
Yep.
Is it Colorado?
And this year I'm going to Canada.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Wow. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Where in Canada?
Like
Eh?
Eastern British Columbia.
That's
Nice.
neat.
The Rockies, basically. But
Okay. That's cool.
Their version of it.
Driving?
Yeah.
Wow. You're driving?
Yep.
How long is that going to take?
I'm making a road trip out of it. I'm going to go pick up a friend that lives in Oregon, and we're going to take our time getting to Oregon. And
taking
take
the
our time to get
camper?
back. No, I don't think I'm going to take the camper.
Oh, the Arctic Fox.
Just two dudes in a truck hanging out, hanging out in motels,
Sharing rooms
sharing rooms.
across the country?
Take one twin bed, please.
Yeah.
Should give him a GoPro and let him film his adventure.
Oh, man.
That's cool. When are you doing that?
End of January.
Oh, so that's
dang.
coming up.
Yeah.
Nice. We haven't had much snow around here this year. I don't know.
No,
As I say that, it's like pouring right now.
It's
know.
raining in Tahoe, too, though.
Is it? Yeah, we haven't had much snow yet this year.
Yeah, it's raining in Tahoe, so.
You ski? You're a skier.
No, snowboarding. I haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, me neither. When I got in my crash in Grass Valley, I got hit by that drunk driver. I stopped snowboarding after that. But you got any plans?
Just going to ride my mountain bike. I was telling Billy, I just got the new Specialized Turbo Levo alloy comp bike, and
I love listening to you guys talk about that.
amazing. So Billy's into mountain biking too. So
Yeah, we're going to do some mountain biking. We should GoPro that.
Please go for it. And I hope one of you just crash super hard and get it on
Have you
camera.
ever watched? You know what? I want to go onto this GoPro thing because I notice it snowboarding a lot when I'm on the ski resort, and there's just somebody out there and they have their GoPro and their stick
Yeah.
or whatever, and they're just going down a hill like back and forth and everything, and they're filming everything. Like, I'm like, what? Did they put this online and be like,
Yeah,
look
what are
at
they doing
me?
with it?
And you're like, it's the most boring thing I've ever like. Actual doing how slow they go is pretty boring.
Probably
And then,
social
like,
media.
Watching it on video has got to be even more boring.
do you think
Probably.
we ever go back and sit and watch that 6 hours of video of them
But I mean,
snowboarding?
Yeah. Their wife's like, babe, that is stupid.
Like even like mountain biking, like I think I don't know if it's really that cool to watch a GoPro video of somebody
When they
mountain
crash,
biking.
it is.
when they crash, but I mean like
Not a GoPro, like doing tricks and stuff, like someone filming somebody doing something, but not a GoPro of self. a
yeah, I
selfie.
mean I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not doing tricks.
I think
mean,
about
I'll-
that-
I'll hit jumps and stuff, but I'm not going.
yeah,
I'm not doing
tricks.
like, oh, I'm gonna backflip this. Like,
Yeah,
no,
no.
I'm not doing that.
Well, you see dudes rolling around with GoPros on their motorcycles, like on the back or the front of their motorcycle, or like a helmet cam. Like, what's
cars now?
Yeah,
I think that's for insurance and
maybe. Well, I don't know. Maybe like these guys are wearing it on their helmets, but I think they're legit going home and like watching their footage of them
no,
riding
I think
motorcycles.
they're using it in case if they get in a wreck.
Maybe.
It's to show that car.
I think we
goes
should go
front
on a
of
mountain bike ride. We'll both have GoPros, and we'll make Kyle watch it. And he'll be like,
Yes.
"This is the dumbest shit I've ever." Seen.
I already
Yeah.
think it's silly. So
Or we could post it on the channel and let everyone be like, "Yep, that was boring."
Yeah.
Like watch the views. 5 views.
Mark would ride very cautiously, and I feel like Billy would go all out and like absolutely eat
You
it.
did come in here last year just
Mangled.
wrecked.
Oh,
That was chasing a bad guy in got a foot pursuit.
You crashed your bike.
Last year, let's see.
You went someplace.
Last year, I had a concussion last year on a mountain bike.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of skinned arms and legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have this issue where I have 2 speeds. It's like first gear or fifth gear. That's just my life, you know. Like I just like I'm either like you're like that dude is lazy as shit, or you're like that dude just can't fucking stop.
An idiot. Oh god. Yeah.
That's just me. There's no like, hey, just take it. There's no just take it easy.
Just chill.
Yeah.
I agree. I'll give you that.
What do you have going?
We have our family Arizona trip. Other than that, honestly, just classes I think that we're doing. We're still trying to convince him over here to put together a cool class.
Yeah,
Start
drop
teaching.
a comment, and if you want Billy to create a training class for
or would you go to a class that Billy put on?
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is.
I don't know. I have a class that I've been trying to put on for his team.
He's
but they just kind of don't want to do it, I guess. Which is
no, we're gonna get there. We're gonna do it. We just got to get the team and the time together.
Yeah.
But
who's in charge of that team?
I am.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. I see where you're going with that.
Yes.
Well played, dude. Well played, Santa. Anyways, we are traveling a lot this year.
Beard white and stuff for.
Yeah,
Dang it, I should have.
They got those
that
spray
would
bottles, right?
that would have
Yes.
gone a lot. I would have given you. I don't know who's winning. I don't know who's going to win.
not.
You're not
know.
even in the competition.
No, I mean Mark's won.
Yeah,
Like he's
for
got
sure.
the sweater and the jacket. He won.
Yeah, show that off, dude.
You're in like I can't even put you in last place.
No, show your homemade whatever
just
that
all
is.
This, just made this.
Dude, you look like a little elf. That's cute.
Just my mustache.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
All right, listen.
One of the eyes fell off.
We're gonna wrap this
Oh
up.
man.
We're gonna see you guys in 2024. Thank you for an awesome year, Billy.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
suck
Thanks
him
for
back in
having
here
me.
more.
What's that?
We're gonna bring you back in here more. Make you do some more of these.
it was fun to banter.
We will see.
All right. Stay tuned until next one. We'll see you guys after the new year. Have a
Happy
happy
holidays.
Christmas. Thank you.